All right, so welcome to Psyched for Grad School, our graduate school show, a spin-off of our career show. My name is Ryan Martin. I'm the chair of the psychology program here at UW Green Bay.
Regan Garung, professor in human development and psych.
All right, so today, based on a student request, we're going to tackle the question of taking a year off from school after you finish college before grad school. And so, Regan, my first question for you is taking a year off from school before going to graduate school okay?
Absolutely okay. The big thing to keep in mind is it really varies with the individual, but the straight answer is if it's the right thing for you to do it, and grad schools do not mind. And in fact, I'll take that a step further. There are a number of grad schools where I've spoken to admissions folks there, and they say they almost like a person having some time out because they've got some experience, and they feel like, oh, you know what, this person really wants to go, they've got some experience, and it's almost a strength for some individuals.
Okay,
Yeah.
super. Okay, so what do you recommend students do during that time away from school?
So if you are a student who has to take a year off, and this could be for a variety of reasons, maybe you didn't get into the school you wanted, maybe you just don't feel like you want to continue right away, the first priority is always do things that are related and to your career and that will build your resume. Now that's not always possible. Sometimes if you take a year off, you have to work with whatever you can get, and that's okay too. Mm-hmm. But I think if you want to really build a good case for continuing later, it's got to be something. It should be something that ties to your career interests. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of folks can't get into related fields right off the bat for work, I think when you do apply to grad school later on, the challenge is in your cover letter or in your personal statement, you spinning whatever you did in the best light possible.
Right.
So maybe you did get the type of job that's directly related. Right. It doesn't matter. You're still doing something, you're earning money, address it, spin it well.
Okay. What about related to that, things like volunteer work and stuff like
right.
that?
I mean, it doesn't have to be paid either. So, right. So let's say you need money, like we all do, so you get a job to pay right. money, put some volunteer time on the side. What does that say to the graduate school? It says, in that year off, you've been thinking about your career, you've been working towards it, and look, even though you couldn't get a paid job, you've still made the effort to get some experience, and that goes a long way.
Yeah, so it's a great way to kind of spin things
yep.
and work things. So you got a student in your office says they're going to take a year off. What advice do you have for them? What are some tips you have for that student?
Right, so I think here it's a good idea to, especially if they do plan on going to grad school, it's think ahead to go, when I apply, what are the kinds of things I'll have to do, mm-hmm. right? And so even during that year off, I mean, sometimes a year off is a great time to study for the GRE. Right. I mean, it's really hard to study for the GRE when you're taking 5 classes. So that's probably one of the best things you can do is structure mm-hmm. that time to go, let's work on my GRE. Let's really work on my personal statement, because mm-hmm. now I have time to do it, and I can probably do a much better job than squeezing it in with 5 classes and things like that.
All right, that is great. So, again, every episode we end with a big final tip. Regan, what is your final tip?
Right, I think, going back to the first question, should I take a year off or not? There are so many different factors that play a role, and to a large extent it's an individual mm-hmm. difference. But I think because there's no straightforward answer, the more people you can talk to mm-hmm. and discuss why mm-hmm. you're doing it, the better off you are. So this is not a decision you feel like you have to make by yourself right. or should make by yourself. Talk to people, talk to your faculty, talk to some of your friends, bounce some things off. That will definitely help right. with that decision. So,
yeah, advisor, other faculty
yep.
you know well.
Right.
Even from other fields potentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. So that is all we have for today. Okay. Thank you very much for watching Psyched for Careers. Thank you, Regan, for being part of this. That's all we got. Have a good one.
And check out those cool outfits there. I mean, it's like the colors and,
looking sharp.
it's almost